Hi, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm Cindy with Qaleidoscope, and this is really the official kind of launch. So thank you for joining. I am going to be trying to do more videos regularly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is there's a bunch of timestamps below, and so what we're going to do is we have a couple of pick-a-cards. Okay, so you can pick, you know, one of them, two of them, three of them, all of them, whatever you were drawn to do. You can pick whatever, you can pause the video, whatever you're drawn to. Also, at the end, we also have some oracle cards if you want some additional messages. So there'll be a second pick a card, okay? And with that end, there'll be kind of like a collective message as well as that. So you are welcome to pick now if you'd like. Otherwise I am going to do a little spiel, just kind of a little, like, especially if you've never watched one of these readings. Basically, this is generally a timeless reading. So this means that whenever you're drawn to watch it, there's very likely a message there for you somewhere, okay? Take what resonates. Now since this is a general, it's it can be like approximate of what's going on, or it can be like I'm tuning in right to your energy, you know? Since it's also a general, sometimes energies can be reversed. If you pick a pile and you find that it's not necessarily your situation, but it kind of goes from the reverse, some reason there's a reason for you, there's a reason for you to listen to that. Like, I find that all of a sudden it's like hearing your story from another perspective. You know, it's like all of a sudden you're the other person, you know, and it's like, oh, wait, this is what that person's been going through this whole time. So there might be a reason for you to hear that if you find it kind of goes in the opposite. Also, time is fluid, so this may or may not play out right now. Like, I am recording this on July 14th, relatively in the evening, but again, so it should go for the next week or so, depending on if you have a lot of kind of like major energies or kind of more day-to-day. Feel free to, you know, let me know if you like it, you know. Please, you know, follow on Facebook or YouTube. I do also offer private readings, so that is the best way to get, you know, your questions answered as well. For the general reading, I am going to highlight too that, you know, think about synonyms. You know, I might say fear or something like that, and you're like, I'm not fearful, but, you know, maybe you're resident, you know, or something like that. Or again, maybe this is something that's playing from the reverse. The person is fearful of you, maybe. Like, whatever comes out. Okay, so basically that's it. So yeah, I'm Quantum Kaleidoscope. Feel free to reach out for a private reading. I'm going to do special launches. And then shortly, the next day or two, I hope to have specific sign readings for basically the, like, end of the month, like from the middle to the end. Number one, and this will be your reading. So I'm going to shuffle the deck and let's see what comes out for you. Okay, what is happening for those who pick this pile for this week? What should they know? What would be helpful to know to help stay on the highest vibration and on their truest path? Okay, so I'm not sure if there's some kind of like success that you're looking for, or like we have the King of Cups that kind of just showed itself as with the Four of Wands. So it could be about your emotions, your stability, your home. We'll see what kind of comes up. Okay, so what does this, those who were resonated to this deck, what would they like to know? Okay, so I'm going to cut the deck. Okay, so what we have as the central theme, okay, we have is the Nine of Wands. I haven't looked at this. Okay, the challenge we have is the Star. Okay, so hopefully we can make sure that it's not like that can be seen. Okay, the foundation is the Ace of Wands. So interesting, when I was kind of preparing, the Ace of Wands kind of flipped out. I was kind of just checking the volume and the sound, and it's interesting. I was wondering if it was going to come out. Okay, the past that's influencing the present is the Ten of Cups. Okay, kind of what's on your mind is the Magician. Okay, or something that you're kind of aspiring to. Where this is leading to is The King of Cups. I love it. And kind of, again, it showed itself. I'm a poker player, so the fact that these cards come out like this is, you know, I wish I could pull out these aces in poker. Okay. And kind of your environment and kind of the additional information is the Devil. Okay, so we have 7 cards here and 7 energies, and quite a few of them are actually major arcana. So we have, well, 3 out of the 4. And so I'm going to talk about these energies as well. And then what we have under the deck is the Aeon. So in a traditional tarot, this is like Judgment. Okay, so this is just before you get to the World in the major arcana, so just before a cycle ends. Okay, and with the Queen of Swords, that's kind of showed itself. So we'll see what that if that means anything. Okay, so this looks awesome in a lot of ways. Okay, so what we have here, your current situation or the theme of your week is the 9 of Wands. Let's see if we can get this. So the 9 of Wands is about perseverance, endurance. Okay, 9 of Wands is, so Wands is our inspirations, our passion, it's fire energy. You know, if you are familiar with astrological signs, it means, you know, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Okay, could mean something about you or not. But basically, this is also known as the kind of the wounded warrior. Okay, but it is a message about to keep going. Okay, you're almost there, and you will be successful. Okay, and so we have as being, so there's something that you've been inspiring to, or and so like this, each one of those wands is, you know, something that has been kind of dragging you down, kind of thing, a little bit, you know. Could be, you know, based on, you know, your passions, your aspirations, your excitement. You want to take it on too much, and so this kind of like, when is it ending? Should I just give up? No. Okay, whatever you're working towards, do not give up. Okay, especially with what we have going on here. Okay, and so we have resurrection as the challenge or the opportunity. Let me get this. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't get it. Okay, maybe you can see it there. Oh, it's too bright. Sorry. Maybe I can do something with the editing. And then cut out this section. Okay, so what we have here is the star in the traditional tarot. Okay, this is a major arcana, which means a major energy. This will take longer to play out. It also means that it has not only the potential, but it will affect your future. Okay, you know, so if you would look back at this week and stuff like that, you know, you would look at the challenge that you were going through and realize that, wow, that was significant. Okay, and what this suggests with the star, okay, I'm just gonna put this down because it doesn't seem to focus anyways, but let's see what I can do. So with the star, okay, that inherent within it means that you've just recently had a tower moment. Okay, whether that was, you know, yesterday, a month ago, could be, you know, months ago. Okay, like again, the tower is another major arcana, so they do take longer to play out. Okay, so this would suggest, for example, for this week with the 9 of Wands, okay, since this is a everyday kind of situation, every type of thing, like this might play out over the next, you know, couple of days or throughout the week. And so there's something that you're going to persist on, okay, but the challenge is the star. So this is, you know, your hopes, this is healing. So maybe there's some challenge of either having faith, okay, that something will work out, you know, or that you can actually heal something that has been taking a long time to go through, right? But with the star, so this means that, you know, something that you're doing might play out throughout the week. This challenge of having the star could mean that, like, you've been doing this for a while. You know, you've been in a healing process, okay? Something, so with the tower is like, you know, the game of Jenga. You know, when it doesn't have the firm foundation, it collapses. okay? But the great thing about once it collapses is that if you do the reflection, if you do the inner healing, okay, if you do the, the work, okay, you have the opportunity to, again, to build that tower how you want it to and build it right this time, okay? And then with the star, that, because you've reflected on kind of what went wrong, why did this situation happen, okay, this is like following that star, like the, your hopes, okay? This is like, it's like now you know where you want to go, okay? So it is really about balancing, balancing your emotions, having that faith, okay? Getting grounded again. So what we have is the foundation. So what has been happening, or, why this is happening, or, what is happening subconsciously is fire. There's a fire in you right now to do something, to create something, okay? This is the spark, okay? If you imagine like an actual like campfire or something like that, this is like when you've lit that flame, okay? It may not have caught yet, okay? Like when it catches is probably when, the two ones, okay? But you have that inspiration, And so also what we have here together with the Nine of Wands and the the Ace of Wands is that all 10s are endings. So, I mean, whatever you've been going through, like this, something that you're inspired to do, something you're inspired to create, something that your intuition is calling you to do, is going to lead you to something, putting down some kind of burden, okay? What we have in the recent past that is influencing this week or has a significance to this week is the Ten of Cups. So Ten of Cups is, that happily ever after, that emotional fulfillment. If you think of that fairy tale, it's like, everything is great. But it's in the past, okay? So, I mean, there might have been something, like, this does represent family, okay? So there might have been, especially if there was a tower moment, so maybe you've had, a family situation kind of breakdown, a relationship breakdown. And so it's been, a lot of that inner work to kind of start something new. But now it's finally happening. It's finally like you can see that light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? And so, and you know that. So what we have here is a magician. Okay? So he is the first energy of the major arcana. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about tarot for a second. And so there are 78 cards in a deck. Okay, they represent the everyday situations or the energies that we all go through as a, as a collective, human on this kind of 3D reality. Well, and then so, but then there's also major arcana. So again, the everyday, like the minor arcanas represent the everyday. This energy could, come today, leave tomorrow, could couple of days or whatever. It may not, have a long significance to like how the rest of your life plays out. Okay, but when you have the major arcanas, okay, which you have, again, so you have resurrection, okay, you have the magician, okay, we have the devil around you, okay, which we'll talk about the devil in a minute. Okay, and underneath the deck we have judgment. Okay, and underneath that, so I mean, there's a lot of what you are going through may not, especially if this is a situation with the Nine of Wands, it may seem like an everyday kind of burden or situation, but overall, you're creating your reality, right? And so there is, with this being the magician, okay? This is, again, the first of the major arcana. So it means, so the major means that it'll take longer to play out. It'll have more of an impact in your life, as well as it represents the larger cycles, okay? This being number 1. Okay, the Fool being that 0, when you're like, okay, I am taking that leap of faith. I have nothing in the, except for the, like, the bag on my back, and I'm going to just go for this new thing, like something, you know, a complete major cycle has ended and I'm ready for the new. Okay, so with the magician, you know, what is in your mind is about, or what you know is about creation. Okay, you have, and within this, okay, this is, the magician has all the tools he needs to create and manifest his reality. Okay, he knows how to use the elements. Okay, with the devil, though, kind of in the environment or kind of around, you know, like if this is something, someone you know, for example, like something that you know that might be a little bit more challenging or something like that, together, so if he's a master manifester, you know, he knows how to manipulate his reality. Okay, so in the positive, you know, he knows how to manifest, he knows how to create, he knows how to, you know, balance his energies. But on the negative, or maybe on the, you know, kind of the other side of it, okay, especially if it's influenced with this devil energy, okay, is that, you know, make sure to use your powers for good, you know, not for evil, and, you know, in the, you know, kind of grand scheme of it. Or if it's somebody that you know that is around who's kind of been manipulating the situation, who you know is not healthy for you, okay, and the challenge is to kind of heal, okay. And so what we have moving forward, okay, what this is leading to is the King of Cups. Okay, so this could represent you, like, and your emotions, and becoming, you know, like, especially if things have been rocky. Okay, this represents healing, this represents balance, you know. And so the King of Cups, you know, the kings are the master of the energy that they represent. Okay, so this is the Cups energy, this is emotion, this is love, this is, you know, creativity, also, kind of thing. Communication sometimes, like, I mean, expressing emotions. So the King of Cups may not always be able to express his emotions, but he's very balanced at it. And so because he's really balanced of it, you know, he may not disclose, but either way, his motivations is from the heart. Okay? So it's whether you have had the inspiration recently to get that fire, okay, to go after that love, you know, so this could represent you, you know, coming in mature as a king, you know, using all your powers, you know, to, you know, create the reality that you want, okay, and with this being the challenge of the opportunities, like, you can get it, okay, but again, around you is, you know, this devil energy. Could represent a Capricorn. The other signs we have here is, you know, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Virgo, Cancer. So, but there could be something that's a toxic around you. Together, though, this also could, well, represent something sexual. Okay, especially with this, this emotion that, like, I mean, if there's somebody around you that you get the inspiration. With this also being, you know, what you know, or kind of like what's conscious is that, like, I mean, there's a good opportunity for, you know, I don't know, like, say for this to work out, but I mean, it's definitely worth, you know, trying to see, you know, and then especially with judgment, okay, or the Aeon, you know, this is, you know, deciding, like, this is, you know, bringing something back from the dead, you know, like, you know, this is Judgment Day, you know, what do? You know, do you let it die, you know, or do you bring it back to life? This could represent somebody coming back from the past as well, you know, you know, and it could be something that, like, you know, if it hasn't been like a sexual situation, it could be something that it is coming up again for you to revisit and deal with, in lack of better words, the toxicity within it. But this could also be addictions around you, or somebody with an addictions, or, you know, this is also about being chained. Like, I mean, but you having the ability to get out of it, you know? So if something's been bothering you, you know, nagging at you, you know, you haven't been able to kind of do this like final step of healing, for example. You know, it seems like it's just been lasting so long. You know, it's like, will you ever get to the end? And yes, you will, okay? And right under the deck of, okay, we have the Ten of Wands. I kind of talked about the Ten of Wands in the sense of we have the 9 and the Ace of Wands, which equals 10s, you know? And so all 10s, again, are endings, you know? And so this is the ending of the burden, you know? But if you can see how they picked this card in this deck, this is that, like, Phoenix rising moment. You know, like coming from the ashes. You know, what are you creating? You do have the power to create it, okay? But it's something like, get out of your head, you know? Maybe there's something, again, that you're chained to that you know that is not good for you, okay? So I'm gonna, like, I'm gonna get, what's some guidance that we can get for those that resonated with this deck? What kind of guidance can we give? What should they know? What's the takeaway? Okay, so I'll pick that up in a second. But we have the Three of Swords. So I guess I'm supposed to talk about this one first. Okay, so Three of Swords is that heartbreak. You know, it can be a separation. It can be a breakup. Again, this is a minor arcana, though it kind of looks, you know, with this being air energy. With this being, this is our thoughts, this emotions, you know, if this is a breakup or a disappointment, it would hurt. You know, this is the card that, like, you know, it's stabbed through his heart and he's kind of covered within his emotions, you know, but, like, what comes after the Three of Swords is the Four of Swords, which is just healing and balance kind of thing, you know, but it's interesting what came, they were dropped, was the Two of Swords. Okay, so this is indecision. On a positive way, it is about balancing the thoughts, being in a peaceful place, you know, but at the same time, you can't stay there forever. You know, you have kind of the tide coming in, you know, behind, right? So you don't want to get kind of covered if you stay too long, right? So there might be something that you're deciding between, you know, like maybe it's about finally just cutting off this heartbreak and, you know, deciding, oh, I'm not going to let this hurt me anymore. Because, I mean, again, especially with the Three of Swords, that is, again, we're talking about minor and major arcanas. Like, this is, yeah, it hurts. You know, if you have to do this to somebody else or if they have to do that to you or you're on the receiving end, it hurts. But you're going to survive. Okay, you're going to, you know, learn from this. You're going to grow from this, you know, and it's not something that's going to really affect you on the long run. You know, it's, you know, it's not a major arcana, you know, and it looks like the worst is already behind you as well. And so there's some kind of decision, you know, or some kind of balance that you need to do. Like, I don't know if you need to hurt somebody again. But whatever it is that you have the ability to create the reality, and there's a fire under you, and so you need to go for it. Whatever that is, at least to kind of see, you know, what can come of it. Okay? So it does really sound like this is a really good week. Again, it looks like it was probably been challenging lately, you know, over the last few months or, you know, weeks or something, like kind of fell down, and there has been some healing that's had needed to happen, and it feels like it's just lasted forever, you know, but it is almost over, and keep going, you know, and because there is that light on the end of the end of the tunnel, you know, and you are going to rise, okay? You're going to be that phoenix, okay? So what is the reality that you want to create? Okay, you are the magician. What is right for you is right for other people. Like, ultimately, like, even if it hurts in the moment, you know, like, if you're not true to yourself, okay? Like, King of Cups is true to his heart and true to what he's wanted. He's gone through all the lessons, you know, and the emotions he's learned, you know, and, yeah, what do you want? Let your heart be your guide, okay? It is time to kind of go, you know, to the next step. You know, what does this devil represent for you? Okay, but regardless, you have the power within you to cut off the chains. Like, ultimately, it's like, one of my favorite decks shows the devil card as, or the devil energy is basically he's like a machine that goes on coal, you know, but then the people that are chained to the devil are scooping in the coal. So if they just, and the coal is firing the devil. So if they just stop shoveling the coal, the machine would stop, the devil machine, and then they could take off, you know, the very loose, you know, ties, wherever that is, I can't really tell with my fingers, and then like release themselves finally, you know. So yes. So I am also going to do a pick a card for kind of general guidance and oracle. If you choose to join me, there will be a timestamp below. Okay. So thank you for joining. Yeah, no, keep going. You got this, man. Okay. So welcome, group 2, whoever chose this deck. Okay. So let's see what your reading is for this week. Okay. So what does, for those who chose this deck, okay, what is the message that would be helpful to hear this week in order to help them stay in the highest vibration and on their truest path? Okay. It might be something that you might need to fight for, something where you might need to put yourself first, you know, but and it could be about, you know, where your emotions are taking you, and it might mean that you need to give some truth to somebody that will help lead you to your 9 of Cups. Okay, so 9 of Cups is that wish fulfillment. Okay, that is the, you know, personal wish fulfillment. So it's like, what is right for you? Okay, and then once you focus on what is right for you, you know, what comes after that is the 10 of Cups. Okay, so the 10 of Cups is that, you know, that family, that happily ever after, you know, that like, oh, I have it all, you know, and it's usually with another, you know, however that is for you, you know, with a dog, you know, and that's your happily ever after, or, you know, again, somebody who you truly love, or whatever the case is. Okay, so we have a lot of cards that just kind of flipped one of these. Okay, so we have 8 of Wands, the Lovers, the Page of Cups. Okay, so this is about passion, this is about communication, this is about love, this is with the Lovers here in the middle. Okay, you can see that like kind of embrace, right? Like that is choosing, you know, again, a major arcana, so that is kind of like, what does your heart want? You know, it could represent doing a choice, you know, because especially with this communication, so maybe you have to communicate something. So Page of Cups as well. So, I mean, that is like that messenger. So I don't know if a message might come in this week that might make you, you know, have to make some kind of decision, you know, that's based on your heart, or if that's something that you are, just realized the fan's still on, that you were trying to do, okay? I'm going to try to show off that fan in a second. Okay, and what we also have that came up is we have the Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, the Fool, Ace of Cups, and Ace of Swords. Okay, so we have a card again about truth. My cat's going into stuff. Okay, so we have a card about truth. Okay, we have another card about like love and emotions, like a new beginning. Both of them are about new beginnings. With the Fool, this is a major arcana new beginning. It's like, what do you need to take a risk about? You know, the High Priestess is about following your intuition. This is about the secrets, you know. This can be representing someone that like is also very intuitive. But and this is Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness. We don't have the Ace of Pentacles yet, which is like, Ace of Pentacles is about, well, all aces are about new beginnings, okay? You know, it can be like the gift, you know, but like their inspiration, their, you know, if you don't take it, you can miss it. And you have great opportunities here. These are 3 out of the 4 aces, okay? Wands, Swords, okay, about is like thoughts, you know, like, especially if you just went through something that just ended, okay? So Ace of Swords is about thoughts, communication, you know, new beginning, new epiphanies, okay? Ace of Cups is new love, you know, new emotions, new, you know, creativity, okay? Ace of Wands is new passion. It can be new birth. It could be new, like, Oh my goodness. So, you know, so there's something that's based on love and communication. So whether that's you needing to, you know, do it, or like if that's going to come in, but I feel like it's going to be you. Like there's something that, there's a brand new cycle. This is a Fool. This is the beginning. This is the zero. Okay? And this deck, he's kind of like just jumping through the water. He's like having fun, you know, okay? The Fool jumps as if he's, you know, like he has no memory, you know, of what happened in the past, you know, and so this is fantastic, and it's about following your intuition, you know, like bringing to light what you need to bring to light. We have here's a Page of Pentacles, so another page is about, you know, okay, with the Page of Wands, and so it wasn't the Page of Wands, we have the Page of Cups, okay, and we have the Page of Pentacles, okay, both pages can be about messages. You know, this is again about emotions, this water energy, this is earth energy. Pentacles can be about your time, it could be, you know, your energy, your money, your resources. You know, this can be also like putting things into reality, right? So both of these though, okay, we have a lot of things that suggest that, you know, you're beginning a huge new cycle. Like not only like a brand new cycle that's like really, you know, like your last cycle could have taken 10 years to play out. It could have taken 20. It could have been your whole life, you know, but you're stepping into this new future or just about to. It's about, you know, taking that risk, okay? And so with the pages, okay, they have just gone through the lessons, okay? When you go through the minor arcana, through the ace to the 10, you know, you're learning your lessons. You're learning about, you know, the ups, the downs, you know, the joy, like everything, you know, how to relate to people, right? And so when you're in the page energy, that's about, okay, like, once you get from the ace to the 10, you start going into your page, your knight, your queen, and your king. And that's ultimately about mastering that energy, okay? So when you're at the page energy, this is like the student. You know, it can represent somebody that's younger than you maybe, but it can also just represent you, like starting, like taking the lessons and like really beginning something new, okay, that really has the ability, but it's something about taking a risk, you know, something, you know, that your intuition is probably just, you know, nagging at you. And with the Eight of Wands, you know, and a lot of things about communication and truth and, you know, but with the Eight of Wands, like specifically, it's also about things moving fast. So kind of like once you make your decision, things are gonna they're gonna move and they're gonna move fast. So like, hold on. And so I'm gonna try to turn off the fan. Hopefully that doesn't make it too annoying, and maybe I can edit it. It's really not. Let's see. Okay. So now we're going to do, so this was just a reading based on what kind of energies came out, but I didn't actually do like a spread. So I'm going to quickly try to do the spread anyways. You know, we got the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups come out again. What's underneath the Queen of Swords? It showed myself, and the Sun, or it showed itself before too. And so the Queen of Swords is, again, like she's about truth. She's about justice. You know, she's been hurt before. You know, she can represent the, you know, divorcee, say, kind of thing, the widow, maybe. And, but because of that, she really knows her truth, you know, and she'll cut people off, you know, like the sword can definitely do damage as much as it can do clarity, right? So, but this is really about just knowing your own truth. And with the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, happiest energy. It's major arcana. It's about, you know, joy. It's about happiness. It's about innocence, you know, and so it's like, what will make you happy? You know, what do you need to communicate? Altogether, too, depending on your situation, there could be a pregnancy down the road or something that comes to light and you might need to communicate. But that could be just for select people. That being said, with all the pages and all everything, if you don't want to get pregnant, take precautions. Okay, so let's try to do a quick little spread. I'll try to go faster because I don't want to get this too long. But the other one was 20 minutes so far. Okay, we got the Page of Swords, another page, communication, and the Lovers, just to kind of show. So we have a lot of pages. So a lot of new energies, something that like, you know, they're wet behind the ears. You know, they're just to learn everything, but they're ready to view something. They're ready to communicate something. They're ready to take, you know, all the knowledge that they've learned. Okay, so what kind of spread do we have for you for this week? Okay. Here we have the 4 wands in the middle. I don't even know why I showed that, actually. I don't normally. Hangman, so there's something about perspective, something that you might need to, like, or you might feel like the universe has just been stopping you recently, and, you know, but anything that has been delayed, you know, it is for you to have a new perspective, you know, or that's kind of been what has been happening for a while, you know, and maybe it'll finally, that epiphany kind of like fully comes in this week where you finally move forward. I don't know, let's see. Okay, so we have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is about holding back resources, holding back time, energy. We got the challenge is the 5 of Cups. Okay, so the challenge is about, you know, loss, crying over kind of spilled milk, but it's also about change. So we got 4 to 5, so there's definitely some change that is coming. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have the 6 of Swords, kind of the foundation. You know, whether subconsciously or what's kind of been happening is that there's been a balancing of, you know, your thoughts, and it's about, you know, moving forward in a successful way. Okay. Page of Swords. So something in the recent past that is influencing this week or will be throughout the week is, you know, some kind of communication, some information that you got. Maybe you've been studying, and so you're now, like, you took your first steps recently, or that could be somebody coming into you, or like having some kind of communication. I love it. Okay, so Lovers. Okay, so Lovers is on your mind. It's something you know you have to make a like heart over head decision. Yeah, so we have a lot of balancing of my cat. 1 second. Okay, so hopefully there's no more distractions. Can't see what stays in. Okay, so love is on your mind, or a love decision, or choice, you know, that you maybe have been holding back, because maybe you've been trying to get over some kind of loss, or you need to potentially get that loss, or communicate that with that. Okay, what we have moving forward, what we have here, we have the Hermit. Okay, so that can represent, you know, becoming single, actually, and the Hermit is, you know, the Hermit. He follows his spiritual path. You know, he knows what he does. He knows that if he does the right thing, you know, again, regardless of your, you know, what gender you are, if he knows that he follows his path and where he's guided to do, he will, like, the right people will follow if needed. You know, it's kind of like, I have to do this, whatever it is. And so with the Hangman and the Hermit, you know, together, okay, both of these are major arcana. So you're talking about, you know, having epiphanies. And with this depiction of the Hermit, you know, like, he seems a little bit in distress kind of thing, you know, a little bit. But generally speaking, like, I don't really think about this as being, what I do kind of take this is, though, is that if you don't communicate what you need to communicate, whatever that is, like, you know, or if you don't follow your heart, it can lead you to, like, more stressing. And it can lead you to, like, maybe staying on that Hermit path, and which, again, if that's what you completely want, you know, it seems like that's what your path is, okay? But the challenge is to, you know, like, not ignore the 2 of Cups. right here. So the Two of Cups is that partnership, you know, an emotional partnership. Like it doesn't have to be romantic, though with the Lover's card it does suggest that, and everything that came up before does suggest that this is a love situation, you know, but it's kind of like you're ignoring, you know, this opportunity that's right there, and it's almost like the universe is like yelling at you, it's like, you know, but you're still kind of focusing on what spilt, you know, and that, again, that classic, you know, spilt milk energy where it's like, okay, well, oh, those ones are done. You still have 2 more cups, you know, just get, you know, more or whatever it is, you know, in this time, in this situation, we call it love. And so this week is about having epiphanies about what you want, making that decision, you know. And so I was going to take one more card, and this is kind of like your environment around, which is the Wheel of Fortune. This showed it, oh, I love tarot, you know. I said this for the other deck, so I guess I'll say it here. It's like I'm a poker player, and so like it actually, you know, helped lead me to more tarot, because it's like, God, man, if I could predict these odds for poker, I'd be rich. You know, like this Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, this is what's around you. Okay, so it can be about, you know, luck. This is about things moving forward. This is about fate, destiny, you know. So there's something that is pretty much destined around you, you know, something that you're getting a new perspective on, you know, like it is about communicating your truth, you know, and finding that person that would also kind of match that energy as well. And so this is like, you know, this is again about the foundation or subconsciously, or what's kind of like what you maybe don't know is that, again, this is something that is balanced. This is what's going to help move you forward. Okay. And, you know, a lot of cases, this is about moving to calmer waters with another, you know, one way or another, you know, whether they're taking a trip with you, you know, or someone else joins your ship, or you join someone else's ship, you know. This is really about, you know, what you want to build, you know, after having, you know, like a very successful ending. Like, even if it doesn't feel like that successful ending right now, you know, it definitely is. Like, I mean, this was meant to happen. This probably was always going to happen, you know. If, like, I got to look at your birth chart, you know, it probably always would have predicted this to happen. You know, this little bit of this stagnant energy, but it is like, you know, you're being halted, or you have been halted, you know, up to this point, so that you can get a new perspective, so you can see why this happens, so that you can be more discerning this time, you know, so that you can, like, you know, it's like, what does your heart want? You know, like with all those pages, for example, you know, and, you know, I think the Ten of Cups came up earlier, whatever the case is, you know, it can be about family. You know, for example, if you're dealing with somebody right now who doesn't want more kids, you know, is that something that's really going to work out? Because I can promise you, something that if you stay true to your heart and choose love over fear every step of the way, you know, you're going to find that person that is going to join you on that journey, you know, to success. And it's destined, you know, it's destined to kind of move forward. It's destined, you know, to get this partnership, you know, but it's about being honest about what you truly want, what would make you personally happy. Okay? And again, what makes you happy means that it's ultimately right for the other person, even if it hurts in the moment. Okay? Never forget. So if you want additional guidance, there should be time stamped below, and you can choose another pick a card, okay, in order for like additional messages. Okay, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. Cheers. So the third deck, okay, for those of you who picked this deck, this is your messages for this week. Okay, so what guidance can we get those who are drawn to this pile? To help them stay in highest vibration on their truest path. Okay, what do they need to know? Okay, so I actually never used this deck before. I just got it not too long ago. It's like a fairy tarot, and I just want to make sure I don't like turning things upside down. But what do we have here though? We have wands, Okay, with the Knight of Wands and with the King of Cups. So we're talking about taking action on passion. We're talking about, again, you know, being a master of your emotions. Maybe that's something that's relevant. You know, there's been a lot of, you know, love and decisions and choices and love over, like, heart over mind decisions that have been happening for everybody. So again, if you've been drawn to another pile too, like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if all three resonate with people, because it's like, it seems like there's definitely things that are related and similar themes. Okay, but what message do we have? Okay, perfect. The second pile is just kind of like cards like flew. Half of the reading was just based on what came out, which definitely usually highlights that it was an important message. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so we have the Two of, 1 second. Okay, so what we have under the deck is the Two of Cups, or in this case it's the Two of Bells. Okay, but it looks really sweet. You know, you have the people kind of kissing and stuff like that, is seeing eye to eye. So this could be about a relationship. That's kind of like going, like, what the theme is going on. But what we have here is, do I have, okay, no. Okay, so what we have is the Four of Hearts. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so this deck uses different terms, and like I said, I've never used this deck before. So what we have is the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so that's about kind of choices and, like, you know, juggling and, like, playing in this case. You know, it can be represent, you know, still kind of also partnerships, something tangible. Okay, with the Four of Hearts. Okay, so this is about, you know, kind of boredom. You know, it can be about, you know, ignoring something, an offer. Maybe you're not noticing it because of everything that's been kind of, you know, changing around you. You know, maybe not noticing this opportunity, or it's just, you know, doesn't interest you at all. So something that is, you know, either you're kind of like bored, it's kind of apathetic, you know, nothing's really been happening, but things have been changing. Okay, so maybe it's just about resisting this change, or really, like, ignoring something that's kind of around you. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups as the challenge. Okay, so the challenge is, so I guess this is a similar challenge for the pile number 2. So this is about kind of sadness. It's about loss. It is about change, though. All fives are about change. So what we have here is also, like, progression too. So we have the 4 to the 5. So basically what happens is, when you're in that Four of Cups energy, okay, so before Four of Cups is that Three of Cups energy. That is friendship, joy, you know, like an event, something, you know, like some things are good, okay? But then after that, you know, Four of Cups can be like, okay, because, you know, maybe things haven't been growing, things haven't expanded, and, you know, so now I'm kind of bored. You know, now I'm kind of like, whatever. I don't know if I really, like, want this anymore, okay? And so with the 5 coming right after, okay, and this is also being the challenge. So 5 represents change, okay? In this case, this is about emotional change, right? So if you're going from the 4 to the 5, you're going from, like, you know, though the challenge can be loss, like, in the sense of, like, having just, you know, you're going through a disappointment right now, or you have to disappoint another. I do see this more about change. Like, I do see that, like, it's actually in a very positive way, and actually, do you know what, it actually did come kind of like a reverse, but I wasn't sure if that, anyways. But so I do feel like this week is about going from this kind of bored, stagnant energy and change, you know, and, like, probably now seeing that Two of Cups opportunity, like that, you know, the partnership, you know, because the Five of Cups, you know, generally speaking, is about, you know, again, crying over spilled milk, you know, ignoring the Two of Cups behind you. It's about, you know, changing your vibration, you know, going from that lower vibration to the higher vibration, you know, and then, you know, but if that's a challenge, it might mean that, like, you've been struggling to do this, but I kind of see that this week is when the change happens. You know, like, maybe you have been struggling for a while to kind of get that inspiration, or, you know, to be like, you know, there's something like an actual opportunity that, like, feels emotionally fulfilling to you. And it looks like there is an opportunity to get that change. Okay, and what we have on the foundation is the Two of Wands. Okay, so this is all about change. Okay, the twos are like, they're the purest form of the energy they represent. So we have the Two of Pentacles as kind of the foundation, like everything is kind of like underneath, you know, and then this is the like kind of maybe subconscious, you know, it can be influencing now, but it, like the Two of Wands, or this Two of Leaves in this case, you know, but Two of Wands is, you know, fire energy, that passion. Okay, we talked about like if you resonated at all with the first pile, for example, that was about getting that inspiration and all that kind of stuff. Now, once you get to the twos, that is like now grounding it, making that decision, you know, but it is still about having a little bit of a like one step in the past, one step in the future, you know, needing to see how it works. You know, again, you still might be like I want this, but you know, and the challenge is really to like bring on this change, you know, to get that inspiration again, maybe. Okay, like the emotional, like inspiration based on your emotions kind of thing, the creativity. Okay, so what we have here, so we have another 5. Okay, it did come up in reverse again. Like I do not know if I shuffled them in reverse, not generally speaking. But I'm going to talk about it kind of both ways. So this could be about, you know, your values. I'm going to like hold it up right. Okay, the Hierophant is a spiritual teacher. It's not representing like say religion, but it's representing you know, that person who would per se talk about spirituality or something like that. This is talks about your values. It talks about traditional commitments. If it was in reverse, it could be about you know, maybe you've come out of a commitment recently. The Hierophant, it can be like representing like formal institutions, so like marriage, or with Pentacles as well, it can be about job. So like maybe you just, you know, got let it go, you know, or it's about, you know, reassessing your values. Or with a lot of the change too, you could be kind of like implementing or incorporating the old with the new, you know, and then just trying to see like what is worth keeping, what is worth letting go, you know. And what is leading you to this situation right now is the Three of Pentacles. So in the past, you know, whether this was, you know, a couple of days ago, weeks ago, months ago, could be like 3 months ago, you know, but there might have been something that you were trying to build. It started, something you were trying to create. It can represent your own personal creation, you know, like if this is, you know, like a business thing. Okay, we have the past, we have 3. Underlying with 2. So we kind of have like this, like, reverting back a little bit. So like, it was almost like you were starting to build something, you know, whether it's a career, a partnership, a relationship, you know, something that's tangible, okay? You know, maybe something would bring in money. And it's like, it's almost like now you're at 2 again. So it's like, let me reassess. You know, let me change this up again. Because right now I'm in the 4 of Cups energy where it's actually not what I thought it would be. You know, so maybe the challenge is that you have to let something go. You know, or again, but then with this, by letting something go, it really does change. Like, it changes your energy. It changes from that, you know, kind of boredom to, you know, that, you know, okay, new things are coming. New things are good. You know, it's a little maybe challenging right now. You know, change can be scary, you know, but change is exciting. You know, and there's a lot of like kind of like old and new that you might be incorporating and kind of creating your own system, your own values, your own traditions, you know. Okay, we have here's the King of Pentacles. Okay, this is your like aspirations. This is your like what you know. Like, so this is about becoming, or that you are the king. It can represent another king, like another, regardless if it's, you know, male or female or anything. Like, this is the King of Pentacles. has mastered the earth energy, okay? He's mastered his finances, he's mastered his career, so it really is about, like, what are you trying to create? Okay, if you happen to be an earth energy, if you happen to be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, this camera, and again, I also encourage you to, like, know your birth chart, because, it's not just about your sun. There's a lot of major energies to kind of, like, play out, but this is also about stepping into your power, like, especially if you do resonate with one of those signs, it's like taking charge of your reality, blending the new with the old, and, creating, and it might mean, like stepping back, like redrawing something again, like reassessing, okay? This could be about, 3 going down to 2, in like, if this has been, because I mean, there's a lot of things with cups being in the center. This is, like, definitely something that is, like, emotional, but also tangible. So it can be, like, definitely a relationship. And it's almost like maybe there was, like, too many parties, 3 parties. One of the third party is, like, say, like, your work or something like that. Especially, again, maybe you got let go. So it's kind of like going from, an institution that, maybe has a lot of people and a lot of partnerships and things like that, to then going down to 2, going to, like, 1-on-1, maybe starting your own business. He is the entrepreneur, like, he is, like, he, creates the wealth, he creates his stability, he creates his, reality. Okay, and what we have moving forward, okay, is the Queen of Bells. What do we have here? King and Queen of Bells, King and Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles can also be known as the catch, if this is about, like, a commitment, not leaving somebody, but, like, deciding to commit to somebody, okay? You're, like, your catch is out there, and they're coming towards you, and so it's, like, something that you need to cut out. There's something that is blocking you, and maybe it's just your own self, your own apathy, your own boredom that is stopping in the way. So it is about cutting it out and taking control, because if your partner is out there, whether that is business, okay, King and Queen of, Pentacles, are the ideal, business couple, okay? If you are, like, if this is a, like a relationship, like a romantic relationship, there's also a potential to, like, incorporate business too. Like, say if, your spouse, like, I mean, if one of you have gone laid off, or you got laid off or something like that, maybe there's an opportunity to go into some kind of business with your spouse, or the person that is coming in, can be a really good business partner, okay? And what we have as an environment is the sun. Oh, that is happiness. That is pure joy. That is innocence. I love it. This sounds like a fantastic week, kind of thing. So with the sun, this is pure happiness. This is your environment. Okay, this is amazing. This is going from, like, okay, we talked about this, okay? So it's going from the 4 of Cups, from that, like, boredom and all that kind of thing. But the challenge is creating that change, okay? But your environment is the sun, joy, like, your partner, your main person, like the main catch, So it is about taking the steps you're required to build, So, I mean, like, it sounds like every kind of pile, is going through the kind of the similar things where, it's been some hard times, there's been a lot of changes, and, like, but right now, like, this week, and especially when it comes to major arcanas, like with the sun, like, if you're not happy yet, you're gonna be, and it's gonna last for a long time, like, this has, like, pure long-term forever partnership, okay, whether this is in business or love or friendship, okay, this is great. Yeah, I'm just actually gonna just take one more. But yeah, like, I guess what I was saying is that, like, things have been hard. You're getting through it, man. Happiness is around you. Like, the guide, I guess, is like, cut out what is blocking you. If it's a third party, is it the work? It's like create your own traditions, I don't know, what's the takeaway message here? Five of Pentacles, change, financial change. So like, oh man, I take this like, this can be, there's somebody around you, okay, who's there through thick and thin, like maybe you've given the opportunity, or, if not, like maybe you feel like you've been out of the cold from them, but like this is all about change, and this is about positive, happy change. So like that's fantastic. And what we have here is the Ace of Cups. Isn't he cute? This one's like the fairy tale, like whatever kind of thing, and it's just so cute. Anyways, but yeah, so there's love around you, happiness around you, and it feels like it's gonna be, like especially if you have to let go of another relationship maybe because it's not right, or something that's been bored, like there's definitely an opportunity around you for pure joy, pure innocence. It's gonna feel like childhood. It's gonna feel, like it's gonna feel great. So I mean, do what you have to do to kind of finish off, 3 becomes 2. So what does that mean to you? Okay. So if you want any additional guidance, there's some oracle cards I'm going to do, and so there should be timestamps below. And awesome, you rock, and have a fantastic week. Oh, I hope this resonates with me. Okay, take care.